Hello everyone. Today is 19th of August, 2 o'clock in the morning, and by Moscow time. And in this video I like to talk about Zaporizhzhia Nuclear Power Plant. Not just this subject, but I will start with Zaporizhzhia Nuclear Power Plant because yesterday Russian Defense Ministry had made a statement which said that Zelensky's regime is preparing a huge provocation on this plant. They are preparing to cause a nuclear disaster. That means they will probably shell this power plant so that Western elites and Western propaganda outlets will blame Russia for nuclear disaster, and that way they will they will try to even more demonize Russia in eyes of at least Western population. Do I believe in this statement? At least partially I do believe in possibility that Zelensky's regime will do that kind of crazy stuff, because they are controlled by Washington and London, and as I understand, US and British elites don't really care about Ukrainians or citizens of EU states. They did demonstrate that many times in the past. So I do believe that there is a chance that Washington and London will order Zelensky and his people to open massive fire on the Zaporizhzhia Nuclear Power Plant to cause some nuclear disaster. In statement that I mentioned, that comes from Russian Ministry of Defense, in this statement said that Zelensky's regime already had put into place some forces which will be involved in this provocation. They even said that probably they will attack nuclear power plant, Zaporizhzhia Nuclear Power Plant, today, on 19th of August. Let me check that right now. Let's check that together. I read that news on RT, so that's the news. Ukraine planning nuclear provocation on the Friday. That means today. So that's I will read a little bit the statement, and then we will talk about this and many other stuff. Ukraine plans to carry out artillery strikes on the Russian-controlled Zaporizhzhia Nuclear Power Plant on Friday, and then accuse Moscow of causing a disaster at the site, the Russian Defense Ministry said on Thursday. The predicted attack will be timed to coincide with the ongoing visit to Ukraine by UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, Moscow insisted. An official said they had detected the movement of Ukrainian troops, indicating a looming provocation. Kiev has deployed units trained in responding to the use of weapons of mass destruction, prepositioning them to report a radiation leak and demonstrate action to mitigate it. Russian military spokesman Igor Konashenkov said. The ministry said it expects a Ukrainian artillery unit to attack the plant on Friday from the city of Nikopol. The blame for consequences of the strikes will be attributed to the Russian armed forces, the statement said. So, that's a statement. Now, in my understanding, you probably notice that Zelensky's regime did shell this power plant many times for the last week or two. And the Russian side did demand experts from UN and IAEA to come to the place, to the Zaporizhzhia power plant, and make sure that Ukrainian side is shelling this plant. No one did came to this plant at this moment, but same time, you probably noticed that Western propaganda outlets started some information campaign around this subject, in which they are obviously blaming Russia for attacks on this power plant, which, does not make any sense, but Western propaganda outlets long time ago lost touch with the reality and logic. That's why probably their ratings are lower than ratings of some independent political commentators on YouTube, because not that many people believe in Western media outlets for good reason. They are lying. So, but just the fact that Western propaganda outlets are talking so much about this power plant does make me think that Western elites may order Zelensky to do some nuclear provocation and attack Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant with a massive barrage of rockets and artillery. We will see, man. And why they gonna do it, man? Why Washington and London will assign for that kind of crazy stuff? One reason could be that they are failing as time goes by. They are losing grip on Western society's mind. Like few months ago, they still able to concentrate Western society's mind on Ukraine, and they will put in their head propaganda that Russia is so bad, Russia is danger, and Russia, just what they are telling to the Western population, that Russia is gonna come and take, I don't know, take your what, take your independence. I mean, how can Russia take your independence when you don't have one? Let's start from there. But few months ago, Western public was more or less, buying this shit, man, this propaganda. But time goes by, and right now, less and less people do care about this kind of stuff, man. Less and less people do believe that Russia is threatening them in France or in Germany or in Spain or in Italy. I mean, because no one is threatening them, and not Russia, at least, because why should Russia threaten them, I mean, for what reason? So that in Washington and London, they see that, thinking of people is shifting, they are asking more and more questions, there is more and more reports on independent from the independent political commentators on YouTube or Rumble or some other sites, that yes, there was a problem in Ukraine with ultra-right Nazi elements, and yes, NATO did push Russia, so much so that Moscow had to act in preventive terms to determine, to make sure that NATO did not put its bases in Ukraine. And Moscow did what any country will do in this kind of situation. They try to protect Russian interests. Some may say that, Russia should try by political means to dissolve problems or something, but Moscow did try, for many years, but no one did listen in the West. So, but main point that I want to say is that now, when Western society is losing interest towards Ukraine, because they're seeing through, man. They do see that there was unlawful actions in 2014 and regime change in Ukraine, supported by US and EU member states, including UK. They did see that there is right now neo-Nazi rule. Neo-Nazis are ruling in Ukraine. I mean, for God's sake, man, they are abandoning Russian language and they are killing Russian speakers just because they are Russian speakers. There could be ethnic Ukrainians that are just speaking Russian because Russian is their language too. And they become a target for these neo-Nazi elements just for that reason. And probably you know these horrible facts about, let's say, Odessa, when tens of people were burned alive by neo-Nazi animals, and those animals killed many more people, hundreds and thousands of people, man, from 2014 until start of Russian special military operation. Western media didn't talk about this, but because independent political commentators on YouTube and other platforms do speak about this stuff, more and more people in Europe are losing interest towards Ukraine because they see that picture is not that clear. Russia did not start this military operation for no apparent reason. Putin just wake up one morning and said, what, it's nice day today to start military operation. No, that did not work that way. There was some reasons, and so Western elites do see this kind of changes in mood of Western society, and to introduce in the propaganda new level of demonization of Russia, they may do order Zelensky to attack Zaporizhzhia Nuclear Power Plant to cause nuclear disaster, so that they can blame it on Russia and increase this hostility level towards Russia and Russians in the propaganda, which will eventually, in their understanding, will turn Western public's opinion again towards Ukraine and towards hatred towards Russia. Anyway, man, do you see logic that I am trying to my English is too bad, man. So I hope I did explain my reading of this picture correctly, so you can agree with me or disagree. But so let's wait and see, man. But I definitely don't like that there is so much is going on around this nuclear power plant, because Western elites, they are crazy, man. They may really do some unbelievable stuff, man, and cause nuclear disaster. And I did read today, and you know, some estimations that if something happens on Zaporizhzhia Nuclear Power Plant, radioactive particles will endanger people not just in Ukraine or neighboring Russian regions or Belarusian regions, but in Poland, in Baltic states, in Germany, or in Central Europe, basically, and maybe even go further than that. So, I mean, this is big, man. If something really gonna happen there, then it's gonna be, game changer, really, because then there will be no. Even now, it's hard to see ways to build some bridges between sides. But if Western elites really do provoke some nuclear disaster, then it's over, man. Then we are enemies for a long time, maybe forever. God knows, man. So yeah, some people. I'm not no expert in. I'm not nuclear expert, nuclear scientist, and some people do say that it's not that easy to cause some nuclear disaster on those on the Zaporizhzhia power plant, because nuclear cores are secure very much. But fact that we are talking about this stuff, man, it's already too disturbing, man. It's just crazy, though. The fact that Zelensky's regime in real time are shelling nuclear power plant is, it's like crazy as fuck, man. So yet again, world is going downhill, man. So yeah, that's main subject for this video, probably. Today is 19th of August. Russian Ministry of Defense in his statements said that Zelensky's regime will do some provocation on 19th of August. Let's see what's gonna happen. I hope nothing's gonna happen, but time will tell. But yeah, this is the main subject for this video. And as I said, I don't know. Did I say I have holidays? I have 2 weeks holidays, so next 2 weeks I may do videos every day, or every other day. Even though only few people are watching these videos, and I'm thankful for all of you, to all of you. I may do videos, and if even one person will watch and think that Yeah, you know, my opinion has some weight in it. That's good enough. At least I practice English, as I say many times before. So yeah, this is it, man. This is it for this video. Bye for now. Take care.